Hello, and welcome back again to Let Supreme Ghost Thief. Today we are playing the last proper mission of Death's Cold Embrace. There is a small one after this, but this is the big showdown here. So we're gonna load up the ritual and continue with the Wailing Keep, which is then mission 9 out of 10. Once inside the castle, figure out where Mathian is and destroy him. It's time to put an end to this madness once and for all. Once you've succeeded, make your way back to the campsite to where you started. So we're going to end up getting a few more objectives as we go along. We are not going to end up needing to go back to the campsite. But destroying Mathian isn't going to be as straightforward as it sounds here. Okay, so my frame rate might be a little bit lower in this video because there's a lot of weather and fog here throughout the entire mission. Now, we started at a campsite, and let's go ahead and make a real save first. This is a very different mission from any other, because it's obviously outside the city. It's the only mission that is not in any kind of building with proper inhabitants. And it's a through and through scary mission. And I actually read on the forums that a few players said this was one of the scariest missions they'd played. On the first playthrough, that might be the case, but it's mostly because you can't really see where you're going. So enemies might come out at you unexpectedly. If you can turn off the fog, and then you can see a lot further, and that might make it less intimidating on the first playthrough. But once you know the layout of the map and where the enemies are and how to deal with the enemies, it's really not that bad. It's actually not a difficult mission. There's a lot of shadows around, and if you know your route, then it shouldn't be too bad. So we are going to, there's nothing really to pick up here. There's a couple of readables. There's here a campsite, the chicken leg, and there's a couple of tents that we can open up. So in here there's a couple of apples, nothing else, a couple of beds. Cooking utensils, and then there's a diary. January 22nd. We finally made it to the Wailing Keep, just after midnight. I can just make out the crenellations through the dense fog. We pitched camp and had some supper, and I'm ready for bed, but Claire is insistent on at least walking up to the entrance right away, to make sure the keystone actually opens the main gate as we expect. She knows as well as I do, though, that if it opens, we will be able to resist the temptation to proceed inside and do some preliminary work to assess the condition of the castle. Although the castle is fairly recent, it was constructed by the Soralians less than 2 centuries ago. It is built on the site of a much older Drimian settlement, and no doubt its builders made use of some Drimian resources. For example, the inner keep is probably closed fast, and opening it will require the wand which I brought for just that purpose. Designs typical of the period would dictate a larger brazier in each corner tower on the outer ramparts, which when all lit will trigger a system to open the portcullis, which is powered by Drimian magic and likely still active. My greatest hope for this expedition is that there is a Rothgard temple still preserved under the castle, and that it is accessible. If so, it is likely the only significant remaining Drimian construction on the site, having been protected by being underground. I have never been in one before, but the tales of magical blue light streaming through the windows, making it feel as if it were above ground or even floating in the sky, are most fascinating. Okay. In here there's an apple and a cheese and another diary. Finally, here we are, the Wailing Keep. I've waited for years, and it took some drastic measures to coerce Boris to make the trip, but I'll finally get to go inside and see not only the fine Cerealian architecture of the castle, but hopefully some original Drimian construction as well. Like Boris, I feel like a child opening a grand present. Such opportunities in life come only rarely. I know he is hoping that there is a Hrothgar temple under the central keep, and while I share his fascination, I have to doubt that we will be able to access it, if one even exists here. Named for Dr. Rupert Hrothgar, who discovered the first one, it uses magical windows which shine blue light throughout, so the temple is never fully dark, even though it's underground. Only 4 have been found thus far, and although it's likely that the Drimii who live here did worship the earth god for whom the temples are generally built, the chances that there actually was one built here, and that we will be able to get inside when there's a crumbling Cerealian castle sitting on top of it, are slim. The crew are eating now, and afterwards I'm taking everyone up there to check it out. Boris is ready for sleep, but I can't eat or sleep until we verify the keystone opens the main gate, and perhaps take a quick peek inside. I'm guessing that was the worst decision you ever made. So, let's head up this way. Whoa.
What happened?
Not a good sign. So we're coming up on the castle here, and you can see where the footsteps lead you. You can go around the outer perimeter of the castle. It doesn't take you anywhere. You can't get inside any other way than through here. We're carrying a compass, 3 fruits, and a sword as a weapon, a holy staff with 50 shots. We're not going to need to use this. 40 broadheads, 5 rope arrows. The Holy Staff is usable, but I wouldn't say useful, because it's very difficult to aim, and it's very difficult to hit anything with it, because all the enemies are pretty much moving and moving fast. But there's no need to kill anybody or destroy anything, and for Ghost we can't do it anyway. Okay. So here you can see the main gate to the front. This is the place where they have used the keystone that we saw in Mission 1 to open the main entrance. Now here you can hear some sounds, and there are a couple of different enemies here. There are these, which I call light bugs. I'm not sure if they have an actual name, but that's what they seem like. They can be killed, I think, with 2 shots from the Holy Staff. They do give first alerts, and they move constantly, and they have a random patrol. There are 4 or 5 other enemies that I think are elementals of sorts. There's one fire elemental, but not the traditional kind. A big monster that comes. And on this side, I think there's an earth elemental. They have kind of vague outlines to their body, and are very intimidating. And I don't think that they can be killed in any way, but there's no need for us to even consider that. There comes one. So he stops here. He has like monkey-like movements. So that's the fire one, I think, and this is the earth one. There is a water and an air one as well, I think. One is inside the keep, and one is up on one of the walkways above. Now we are first going to head in here. Take this one. guess this technically is an unnecessary pickup, but at least it gives us a map. The Wailing Keep. So this is useful for us to navigate and for me to narrate properly, so I'm going to take it for that reason. And that was probably the body of Boris, because this is his map. Likely layout based on tradition, or traditional Cerealian castle design. So this is the outer gate, which opens with a keystone that we went through. So we were right here, and we're right outside one of the side entrances to the outer perimeter here. There's a couple of different levels. There's 2 or 3 levels. You can also walk on top of everything up here, but then you're very exposed. There's a portcullis that's closed right now, and we're going to get directions soon on how to open that, and then you have the main keep in here. There's also possibilities of walking along inside or on top of the inner wall here. And then there's some notes. Outer gate should open with the Drimian keystone. Bring Urdine device for braziers to open portcullis. I think that's what it says, Urdine. Beware cliffs on north side. The sea is a long way down. Hope for a Rothgard temple. Okay. So it seems like we have to light some braziers from the notes that we've gotten so far. Now we should head around this general direction here. Now those light bugs, they light up around their patrol. So if we're too close to them, then we might get spotted, but there's that guy. We're gonna head in here real quick.
Stay back. I mean it. Wait, you're not one of them.
No. You're Clara Hollingsworth?
Yes? Who are you and... What the hell are you doing here?
Name's Garrett. Let's just say I'm working with Thaddeus to try to rid this place of its curse.
Curse? You know of it then?
Well, I know this place used to be inhabited by a necromancer, and that thanks to a trap he laid for Thaddeus, he's been able to return. I'm trying to undo that.
Through years of research, Boris and I have managed to piece together some things about this place's history. Though most of the castle dates from later, the site itself is most definitely of German origin, though those elemental guardians that decimated our party aren't. I know just enough to guess that they're conjurations of the Hand Brotherhood. How they got here, I can't even begin to guess, but they seem to be invincible, likely due to the Drimian power source that supposedly lies beneath the central keep, probably in a small underground cathedral. That's the main thing we were hoping to locate on this expedition.
That doesn't really matter anymore. Look, I need to get into the central keep, but the portcullis is closed. Any suggestions?
Before we were ambushed, Boris said the central keep gate opens whenever the braziers in the 4 corner towers are lit. It's a typical Drimian design, but they can only be lit with this wand we brought. I was trying to do that when I was injured. Here, you take it now.
Thanks. I hope you make it, Clara.
If I do, I'll buy you a pint at the Trickster's Tale.
Right.
Garrett?
Yes?
I know enough Drimian to translate if you find something that might help but can't read it.
Good to know. Take care of yourself.
Okay. So we got one extra objective. Use the wand Clara gave you to light the braziers in all 4 corners towers, which should open the portcullis to the central keep. No doubt Methian is in there somewhere. So that's these towers here. We are now right here, and we can use the outer wall, the hallways there, to get between the towers. But this area is blocked, so you can't walk through this area. So I'm going to go to this one first and then work my way counterclockwise. Give it a real save there. Best thing is to walk along the outer perimeter here. There's one I assume is water, maybe? So there we got caught. It's better to walk through here, maybe. So there are some lights around too that was spoken of in the readable. So we're now along the northern edge, so we need to go to that corner there. So we've now walked around, so we're here, or approximately there. Okay. So naturally we will end up then bringing a scroll back later. They wouldn't have included that. The fact that she can translate it if... Okay, we have to wait for this guy, because I can't... It's tough to tell... Well, now he's facing me, because his sword is in his right hand, you can see. I don't know if a little light bug caught me there. Sometimes they get a little bit stuck before they end up going upstairs, like that. Sometimes those lights randomly appear. So now we should be in the northeast corner here. So this is the upper walkway, and we can walk on top of the towers as well. There's no walkway above this. So here we can light the brazier then. There. And now we just have to walk counterclockwise, like I said. Careful when we go back down here so we don't accidentally bump into. So now I want to walk west. Did not see me. He heard me. I didn't know where I was, really. Sometimes tough to hear their alerts because of all the sound of the ocean and the wind, so I'm not going to take any chances. There. 2 down. We will follow that guy south, right? Oh yeah, that's right. That we can't do. Because it has broken right here. So we have to go back up. That's why they don't walk past this point. Wow, there's a lot of bugs here. Very exposed here. Don't think anybody heard that. There was nobody around, so. 3 down. Now we have to go east. So now we have to pass back through the room where Boris's body is. Try not to talk as much because the atmosphere here is pretty unique. Pretty immersive. We haven't seen that elemental guardian. There we go. There it is. I think that's the air one. It's got to be the air one. There's one more elemental guardian inside. I think that is more a light elemental thing. There we go. So now we have to go back to the... So we have to head west again now. I think that was an alert, actually. Actually, I want to go one more. Could have been an alert. It was not, because he gave the same remark now. So now we want to head in through the main portcullis, and that can be a little bit tough to navigate on these enemies, but... like that one. Good. Here's what sounds like a spider. It isn't. It's another one of the guardians. Upstairs here in this building. This is then the old keep. There's the light here is flickering on and off in this location all the time. We're first actually going to head downstairs to the Rothgard Temple. There's nothing to pick up and nothing to really read or see here except for scenery. Okay. So there seems to be 4 beams, different color, that is shot past some kind of a barrier here. This is then the cathedral that was talked about. There's nothing to worry about down here now.
Mathian must have left both their bodies here and entered his own, then raised this magical field to protect himself while he begins drawing power from this place. I'd better find a way to lower the field before it's too late.
So here we have the couple. So figure out what's powering this magical field and then find a way to bring it down so you can destroy Mathian. So here seems to be Mathian's body then, but we can't pass this area. If we go up here, you can see it from above, but over here is a body with a key, an old bronze key. Let's take that. Now we can head upstairs here. There is a patroller, but I don't know where he is right now. If we block ourselves from that light with the pillar here, we can sort of try to figure out where he is. He doesn't come down here. It's right here now, probably. Yeah. Gonna head up here real quick. On this side is a room where you can climb up, but there's nothing there. But this side has a door that responds to this key. Oops, didn't know you could do that. Alright, so now we are in a different tower. If we head up here, seem to be in an old abandoned sleeping quarter. You can't read any of these. It's a little bit difficult to get up here. I think you're supposed to maybe climb this pole. But we instead can climb up with a rope. Let's grab our rope again. Here is a lever we can flip. Open this. This is some kind of study chamber with a hole and a skeleton and a couple of buttons. Alright, there seems to be a lift of some sort. Interesting. The top button is not working. Okay, so that seems to be the lower one, it's where it's already at. And now it raises up. Okay. Oh, this seems to be right above where that patroller was. Okay, so we can't go back down there. Nothing else of interest here. So we want to then get up there. We need to leave this lift at the lower position. But it's right here now. Disappears, but it's still there. So I want to do that then. Right. Climb up here. Nothing else of note here. Wow, that is bright. Let's try to get up one more level. Need to get that rope arrow afterwards. Okay, here seems to be something. Some kind of a laboratory. As a society, we Soralians have made the most of our tendency to be scavengers, building our cities and fortresses on the ancient ruins of powerful but long-dead cultures, and encroaching their distinctive strengths into our designs. And so with this very castle, have we taken from the original precursors who built here a power unspeakable, which lies below the central keep. The council's decision to leave untouched the ruined underground temple, which houses the power source, was met with much dispute, but a compromise to close it off to all but the most holy and responsible of our society led to its preservation. May Brauk and the other gods of the earth watch over us if this decision was a mistake. Okay, here is an unintelligible piece of parchment. An ancient Drimian scroll. This parchment may have vital information, but is written in the Drimian language. Take it to Clara, and hopefully, if she's still alive, she can translate it for you. Sounds good. Let's see if we should be able to drop here without any problems. Okay, that I have done before. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we do need to get that. Whoa. Yeah, he didn't hear that, did he? No, he did not. Okay, now the problem is, how do we get down from here? Well, we can use a rope arrow, but then we can't get our rope arrow again. We can't retrieve the arrow, which we need to for Supreme. So here's a trick that I realized just by coincidence. Remember, we have the fruits? We have to drop the fruits here. like that, and then fall onto them. So that we can do without taking any damage. There we go. It's the only way I've found to avoid taking damage here. We gotta lower that, and then we gotta leave. Gonna close this back up. And we gotta go back down here. Didn't know that that thing was upstairs. Good. I want to check that I actually did. That I did lock that door. I did. Good. Because I want to return that key right away now. Because we're going to go down here later. But then Mathian is going to be awake. And the two bodies have turned into zombies. So I don't want to have to go back and return that key when that's going on. I'm just going to do that right now before I go back to Clara. Yeah, that's the closest we can get. Oh. Didn't I drop here earlier without any problems? Anyway. So we can't close these this portcullis here. Good. go find Clara. Hey, where did she go? Oh, she doesn't look too good.
My knight in shining armor has returned.
The necromancer, Mathian, seems to have raised a magical field around himself and the power source. So I need to figure out how to lower the field to get to him. I also found 4 odd devices in the keep's towers, whose colors match those in the field.
How can you destroy him once it's down?
Thaddeus gave me this. He said it should drive him from a host body, and then destroy him when he's outside of a body.
Well, I hope it works. Not sure I'll be around to see.
I also found a parchment in the highest tower, which seems to be a laboratory.
Let me see it.
Anything?
Yes, this is an incantation which dispels magic. Reciting it near the devices should, in theory, disable them, and disabling all 4 should dispel the shield.
But I don't speak Drimian.
It's only 5 words. I'll teach you. If it's the last thing I do in this world, so much the better. Recite after me. Anamarish, Spalis, Dismos, Kol, Talaaya.
Anamarish, Spalis, Dismos, Kol, Talaaya.
That was perfect. You have a gift with languages, Garrett. Should have been, an archaeologist.
Maybe not.
Go now. I want to die alone.
As you wish. Farewell, Clara.
So we checked off another one, and we got another one. Using the parchment, recite the spell to dispel the magic from the devices in the keep towers that should lower the field, protecting Mathian's body. So Garrett said that he had found 4 devices in the towers. We haven't gone there yet, so we don't know what those are. But we're gonna go there now. He might actually have seen me there, so I'm gonna do that again. Oh, no. The last problem was getting back into the keep second time, then we don't have to leave again. Oh. Stay over here, and maybe that's better. Well, that sucks. Happened to be a lot of those petroleum light bugs at this time. Good. Last stretch. So now we can then go to these towers, and that is pretty easy, because we don't actually have to go along any of the walkways.
Anamarish, Spalis, Dismos, Kol, Tal-Aya.
The green one. I don't know if there are anybody patrolling up here. On the top level.
Anamarish, Spalis, Dismos, Kol, Tal-Aya.
I don't think there are.
Anamarish, Spalis, Dismos, Kol, Tal-Aya.
And the last one is coming up.
Anamarish, Spalis, Dismos, Kol, Tal-Aya.
Garrett, what have you done?
Keepers. I should have known you guys would show up sooner or later.
Orland sent me to warn you, but I've arrived too late.
Warn me? Too late for what?
About lowering the field. It's exactly what Mathian hoped you would do. He couldn't do it himself, as he's unable to recite the Drimian spell you used to disable it. But you unwittingly have allowed him to re-enter his body, and now he's again drawing strength from the Drimian power source which lies below the keep.
Again? You mean this has happened before?
Yes, almost 30 years ago. We realized what he was up to back then, so we encouraged the Hand Brotherhood to drive him from his body and construct the magical field to keep it imprisoned. His spirit soon died without that connection, or any living host nearby to inhabit.
Why involve the hand mages?
Let's just say that the Drimians are in their family tree, so they were best equipped for the task. And we also prefer not to act directly, as you know, but work through others instead. How did Mathian manage to return, anyway? That was unexpected.
He altered a ritual in a hammer book, and then we unknowingly performed it, trying to resurrect a young girl whose father felt responsible for her death.
Ah, yes, the power of human guilt. So Mathian found a way to trick his way back into existence. Now, do you see why he must be stopped? The only way to destroy Mathian once and for all is to deactivate the power source below the keep. The spell you used to bring down the field might suffice.
What about the holy staff that Thaddeus made to destroy him?
Well, it's probably effective against normal undead, against a being of Mathian's power. Now that he has rejoined his body, it's useless.
It sounds like some more stealth is in order, then.
Undoubtedly. Garrett, you should go now, and act with all due haste. I must return to...
Yeah, I know. You need to go report to the Keeper Council instead of actually helping out. I'm starting to get used to that now.
So now, Mathian has closed the entrance to the sunken cathedral, so before you can do anything else, you have to get it open again. Mathian is practically invincible. Once you get back inside, sneak past him and defeat him by reciting the Dispel magic spell next to the Drimian power source. Okay, so then we have two things to do right now, and the lever operation that you just heard is from some kind of a keeper or, I don't know, a ghost or something that opens one of the two levers that has to be pulled at the same time to open the cathedral doors again, which you saw was closed now. So we have to pull those at the same time, so we have to time that. Let's see, so we have to go on the south side, so that's here. And here's a book. Surthik, 4th moon, day 7. Rihalik and I have been assigned the 2 posts which control the gate to the Drimian temple under the keep, until at least 5th moon. What an honor. The procedure requires that we both sign off on any request to open the temple. Then once the party is at the door, we must both pull our levers at the same time to open the doors. Then we are to close them again within 1 minute, and be prepared to open them again when the party in the temple gives the signal. My father would have been proud of me today. I'm going to save it here. Okay, so I think we can pull this when we see him pulling it at the other side. But it has to be so that we don't get caught by that zombie, and she will come in here. Or he will come in here. Like that, so we can't do that. So I don't know what determines if she comes in here. I think it's random. So we might have to wait for the next cycle and just see. I think he alternates. So now he'll come in here, so then we should be at the other side. But I'm going to stay here and just wait for this side to work. Yeah, that is a timing that is not good at all. Let's see. Well, that might actually work if I go back here now. Yeah, she's on her way. Okay, this might work. There we go. Good. Now we can finally go down and take a look at the last hurdle. So we have to sneak here now. Past both of them. See. Julia stays on that side while Robert stays here. He doesn't see anything there. Now there are two panels that have opened up. One lever here and one on the other side. And we need to open both of those in order to access the area behind Mathian. Now there's a panel that is opened up. Nathan is right up here. So that is the first alert from him. I think it sounds like it says fool. So you can see the panels here have opened. So both levers need to be flipped for both of these to open. Now, of course, they can be closed. So we need to close them. However, the mission won't end when we are on the other side here. Because all we need to do is dispel... I can't tell if he's facing me or not. Yeah, he is. All we need to do is dispel that last power source. So the mission will end. We will end up on the back side here. And then we can't close those panels. So we have to do something here in order to still be able to close those. And I'll show you how. Turn around, please, buddy. First time I came down here, he was positioned this direction for the longest time, and I didn't think he turned. So I thought that this was going to be an unghostable area, but... we turned again already. He just has to stay that way now. Did he not hear that? There. So back here then is the main source, the power source, which we have to stop. But like I said, we have to make sure that we can close these panels back up. And again, the fruit is our saving grace here. If we drop a fruit right here, then we can go back. Then we can go back and close the panels. That he heard. And the fruit will then close, or it will stop this panel from closing. Man, I never had that much problem with him. Last time, there we go. There, I think both panels close now from us flipping one of those. But I'm gonna flip the other one too, just to be complete there. So as you can see, that one is closed. Okay, what way is he facing now? I can't really tell. Yeah, he was facing my direction, so let's see if he can turn now. That he heard. I don't like that he doesn't alert to those. Because sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Oh, you can just go in like that. That's easier. Okay. So now if we grab the fruit, this should close, and the levers are reset. There we go. And we have all 3 fruits. So of course now we can't leave from this area, but we don't need to, because we only have 1 objective left. Here we go.
Anamarish, Spalis, Dismos, Kol, Tal Aya.
And by destroyed, I mean not only his manifestation, but all he hath done shall be erased from the world as well. Together, while thou place the 3 scrolls in the brazier, the order must be fiber hemp, followed by fire oak, followed by dragon snap waterweed. If thou dost mistake it, we shall all perish.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
So now we are back at Fairbanks. And all the objectives have reset now to the ones from the ritual. So we have to assist Brother Thaddeus now.
Est. Animus corpori vita mors est. Animus corpori vita mors est. Animus corpori.
It has worked! Julia, my love!
Robert, we're together again. At last.
Garrett, only through thine actions hath this come to pass. Take thy reward and retire from thy thieving ways if thou canst.
It seems no matter how hard I try to escape it, my destiny keeps catching up with me, Thaddeus. I get the feeling this Karras guy may be trouble for you, as well as me.
Interesting. Okay. So, that was, in my opinion, a successful Supreme. I guess we can't really count it as a perfect Supreme because there's no loot. But it's a successful Supreme. I couldn't detect any first alerts, and there were only really a couple of problems. Dropping from the tower when we had to make the little stack of fruits, and then closing the panels at the end there. Those are the two areas I thought maybe would be a bust to ghost that I was able to figure out, or bust to Supreme, that is. So total time 59 minutes 17 seconds, found 0 loot out of 0. Pockets picked 0 out of 0, locks picked 0, no backstabs, no knockouts, no damage dealt taken, no healing taken, instant killed none, others killed 0, no secrets. And we only have then one mission left, which should already be uploaded because it'll take no time for me to play that. And then we will sort of summarize the campaign at the end of that video. So I'm going to make a save here. And I'll see you guys back for the last mission. Have a good night. Bye-bye.